Good morning everybody, hope you're doing well. This is my second attempt at this video because my son doesn't stop running in here when I'm in the middle of recording. I'm halfway through an explanation, he comes in and he's asking me stuff and then I just lose my train of thought. So I'm going to start again and go from the top. So basically we're on the hourly time frame right now, and I've had Ace, who's one of the members, who's asked me what gave me what made me take this trade. So I'll break it down. It's really simple. On the hourly time frame, I started to see that the sell pressure on the MACD, or the MACD started to fade off, this lighter purple color that I have, and the RSI started to coil up. Not only that, I have this orange box here, which is one of my areas of interest, or a temporary area of interest. Okay, so based on this zone that we're tracking here, price has been support and resistance, and this is what gave me my tops and bottoms for that. So when price comes into this, I always monitor it carefully and closely on the smaller time frames to see whether we're going to have a change in direction and move to the upside, or whether we're going to push to the downside. So when I go down to the 15-minute time frame now, you'll see a bit closer, you'll see a bit better or clearer, sorry, how price came into here. The RSI, the SMA, started to curl up. The MACD was fading out, so I was like, okay, cool. So the sell pressure is easing off now, and then this obviously flipped green, which means buy pressure's coming in. The RSI started to go up. Once we broke out of this and confirmed multiple times, so let me go down now to 1 minute time frame. We had multiple taps, 1, 2, 3, and it held. And then I was like, okay, now this is it's been backtested as support, or for the moment at least. That's what gave me the entry. It was literally that simple. Let me see if there was anything else on here. So I have this indicator here, which on the hourly flashed at 9 o'clock this morning. You'll see here. So what time was that? Yeah, 9 o'clock. I'm pretty sure that's UK time, not Spanish time. So that would have been an hour earlier for you in the UK. And Ace, who's in New York, I'm pretty sure he's in New York. Obviously that's middle of the night for him. So that flash green. However, you can't just use indicators to blindly buy, because obviously price comes down in there and they're not fully accurate. You have to have multiple confluences before you enter those trades, which is all of me making sure that all of my boxes are ticked before I enter. Okay, so it looks like we've just broken through the resistance that I mentioned, which was at 4390 and 4386. So between 4386 and 4390, I said there would be some resistance, which is this here. This you'll see this simple moving average, which is at 4387. So we've got through that now and we're pushing up. The next zone or area of resistance is going to be around 4395, because this here is a larger trend that we're tracking, you see. Let me just hide this one for now because clearly it's invalid. Yeah, that's it. I'll keep it like this. So we're now pushing up. The hourly time frame looks bullish. As you can see, the RSIs on the hourly are starting to coil up as well, which is another indicator that we could have a bigger push throughout the day. The MACD's easing off, which means soon we've got a couple of hours. We've got 2 hours and 30 minutes, or 38 minutes to be precise, until the New York session opens. So are we going to get a nice little squeeze and a rally up here through this support, or resistance, sorry, then turn it into support before pushing up throughout the rest of the day? If so, that'll be a lovely entry and trade for us for today. I'm currently running in a really good bit of profit, totally risk-free right now, and that's it. I was looking for other setups this morning. However, let me just see if there's anything here. So off of this wick, that trend there is broken, so we'll go to the next one. That one's broken, that's broken, so there is no trend there, so I'm not even going to draw it because there is no trend. Let me just see off of this not so steep one. I'll pull it all the way down to roughly where that one. Let me take it to the base of here where we were today. So there. So see what I mean? All of these lines on here, by the way, are imaginary lines, but they're trend lines. So price does react off of them, but they're not real lines in the charts. People aren't running into walls and they can't get through it, but they are actually there, like in terms of the numbers and volume that needs to move price for a certain area. These are actual real numbers, and they do work. Like I've always used these trend lines, and they always seem to work. You'll find resistance at them, you'll find support at them, and price tends to slow down when it gets towards them. Okay, So this here, what we could do is, like I said, we could push all the way up to 4,411 or potentially squeeze all the way through to 4,419. And what was the big, yeah, look, my bigger time frame today was 4,418. So as these candles move along, so in hours, so let's just go one more hour, we've got 2 hours, yeah. So by New York time, if this continues to push up, we could potentially hit 4,423 as our target. This would be a beautiful move. We've entered here. I think it's a great trade, guys. I do. I think it's good. We could have obviously, yes, we could have bought off this base here, but I didn't see this wick. I didn't have this trend line drawn here, and at the end of the day, not my boxes weren't ticked. So actually, that would have been off here. So we'd have wicked through here. Yes, we could have got in earlier, but we didn't. This indicator is this little buy came on here at the base of the box, and I waited for my confirmations, and I preferred to play it safe than getting the exact bottom. Obviously, it's easy to look back in hindsight and be like, oh yeah, well, we could have bought earlier, but no. It is what it is. So we're riding this now. I think this will be the only trade that I give today, as long as we can continue to let this ride up. Let me see, 4 hour time frame. Yeah, that's a beautiful. This wick will potentially get filled eventually. Let me just see. Let me see if there's anything on the Lux Algo that could show us that we're going to run into any kind of resistance here. Yeah, so we're running into a bearish order block on the 4 hour time frame, and this is still a short signal here. Let me see, 2 hours. Again, the order block is there. You see that red box? That's a bearish order block. However, on the 1 hour time frame, see, as you move down the time frames, there's different things in different places. This could be clear, because at the end of the day, let me just go and hide that parallel channel. So now I've removed that. It's almost like we've got a clear run now all the way up to this zone here, 4,410, 4,411. And actually, look, I didn't even see that. There's a target here, 4,418 to 4,453. So we could run all the way up there, because there's a bearish order block here again above. There's a high. See, that was our most recent high. Loads of liquidity here. So let me just turn that off and show you the liquidity. All this liquidity here. Let me mark it as an area of interest, actually. And what tends to happen when you get a big area of interest and a big wick like that, price could potentially squeeze all the way up to the top of the trend line. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it could potentially happen. There's no reason why it couldn't. Like today, the London session and the New York session could push all the way up here, especially if some bullish news comes out. And as you can see, again, on the hourly time frame, the MACD's easing off, buy signal. For me, that looks good. There's nothing to say we shouldn't follow this trade. I mean, look at this one yesterday. I didn't obviously call this trade, but there was a sell signal, it ran all the way down, and it hit its targets. This indicator, the Lux Algo, it does work well. I've got mine dialed in slightly different. I adjusted all my settings based on my criteria. Let me just try and pull it up for you. So if anyone does want to use the Lux Algo signal or indicators to help with their trading, because they are useful, let me know and I'll share all of my entire setup and how I've got all my settings placed. Because default out the box, it's okay, but it's not great. I dialed mine in after using it for multiple years or months to a year, whatever I've been using it for, probably a couple of years now actually. And the settings are just right for me. I like it. I don't use, you can't just, like I said, you can't just trade off of it blindly, but it is right a lot of the time, especially on the hourly and the larger time frames, dailies, hourly. It works really well. I've used this for a long time in crypto as well. The one of the indicators that I like the most out of it is these clouds, these reversal clouds. So if you look, let me see on the 30-minute left, we got it. Yeah, look, this reversal cloud here. So price came and tapped into this reversal cloud. You'll often get it squeezed quite a way in as well, but we've bounced off of it, and the same can happen here. When you get to the top side of the reversal cloud, price tends to reject off of it, exactly like it did here, So, like I said, you can't use indicators blindly. You have to couple them and use them with trading rules, the ones that I'm obviously trying to teach you all. So, I'll go into this more tomorrow on our live video. But for now, price is looking good. Look at the MACD, it's starting to push up green. That's on a 30-minute. Let me see on the hourly. Still nothing yet on the hourly, but on the 15-minute, we've got a few green candles there. and as prices moving up. So let's hope this trade plays out well. Currently sitting at 4,391, just under 4,392. So the resistance, sorry, is now below us. So which is right here on this candle, and you can see. Let me just do the last thing before I get off this video. I'm not rambling. You'll see 4,390. Yeah. So this line, which I said was the top of our resistance. Look how I'll draw that line there. This candle closed below it, and this one obviously squeezed back down, pushed through it, and now it's used the body as a base. So it just shows you how, when you know what you're looking for and at the charts and you can see these zones, it really does help you, and it gives a bit more confidence in the moves as well. I feel like a lot of people will panic, and I've done it myself. I used to panic when I was in a trade, like, oh, I've just made 20, 30, 50 quid, 100 quid, whatever. But as you trade more and your account grows and you get used to seeing these moves, this all becomes normal. It is part of it. You'll see price go up, come down, price go up, come down. Nothing's going to rocket up unless it's like a meme coin or something, but everything that goes up does come down, and it's healthy for it. It's called a healthy retracement, or a retracement which is healthy for price to continue. So yep, I'm gonna stop waffling now. I'm gonna cut the video off, and I'll see you all in a little bit.